when you see that one play, it sparked the energy, sparked the enthusiasm for our entire team, and it was the difference maker for us, and our guys fed off of it.
Remember the first time you watched Kamari Lassiter and at Georgia, and just what were some of the initial impressions, and now kind of what he's become?
And Kamari's been consistent. He's a tough, hard-nosed player, old school. He's a corner who loves to play physical, which is rare these days. Kamari likes to tackle, and he brings a different intensity out on the perimeter than most corners because of his physicality, but also just his smarts, intelligence, and his playmaking ability.
DeMeco, can you talk about the opportunity your team has this week to do something this franchise has never done with if you can get a win?
We're excited about the opportunity we have. We understand what's in front of us. Great team. KC has done a great job for the past few years of really dominating the league, being there at the end. Have great coaching staff, great players, great team all the way across the board. So it's a really tough challenge for us. We're excited about the opportunity we have versus KC. We know it's a tough team to beat, right? It's going to take everything that we have. It's going to take all four quarters. Similar to our last game, we just have to stay the course, remain persistent throughout the game, and find a way to win in those critical moments.
You guys faced Kansas City early, and like you said, you were in that game. That wasn't a game where you dominated. What do you take from that as you prepare to go and face them this weekend?
Different game. I don't take much from it. It was a game that was that week. It's different circumstances that happened in that particular week. Now it's a new game for me. Fresh start, new game, right? We'll attack it just like it's our first time playing these guys again. So we'll go in with a fresh set of eyes and see the things we need to do to be better, the things we need to do to close out the game. And that's how I always go into each game with a fresh set of eyes, not really harping on a lot of what happened in the previous game.
You talk about defending every blade of grass on the field. When it comes to defending Patrick Mahomes and all the angles and the things he does to create passing lanes, what are some of the special challenges of trying to account for him?
Whenever you're tasked with playing, you call it 11-on-11 football with a quarterback who is able to run the ball, it just presents different challenges. Like you have to be sticky in coverage. You have to plaster. That's the thing. You think you cover guys once and the play is still going on, and you have to look to cover them twice. So guys have to be very disciplined when you're playing in coverage versus Mahomes because we know his escapability and not just him running the ball, but also the threat of the run and him still being able to keep his eyes downfield and make passes. Guys are wide open a lot on their film, right, because of the threat that he poses, and he just requires so much attention because he's such a elusive guy in the pocket. He's such a unique playmaker with the different angles and the way he can throw the football, the way he gets the ball out, whether it's underarm, sidearm, however he wants to get it out. He has the confidence to get the ball to his playmakers.
Derek has a unique ability to track balls in the air. What do you think about that ability in him, and does it remind you of anything you've seen?
Yeah, Derek has done a great job all year of, when people challenge him down the field, he has a great ability to track the football and go make the play. Not many guys have that ability to track the football. That's why a lot of guys play DB because they can't catch it. But Derek does a good job of, playing with great awareness, but also having great hands to finish the play and make teams pay.
It's obvious what Joe brings this team on the field. Like everyone gets that, but off the field, his mentality. What does he bring this team? Just his mental state, in between weeks.
Joe provides confidence as he brings it every week. Like the way he goes about his business, what he has to say to the guys all throughout the week, he provides confidence. Like you see a confident guy who's trying to exude that confidence off on his teammates, and that's what he brings. Confidence, he brings positive energy to everyone, and that's what you need at this point in time of the year. Like you have to believe first and foremost, and Joe brings that belief. And if you don't have it, you hear him talk, you'll get it really quickly. So.
How much of a boost is it? How much of a boost is it to have a special teams unit that makes the kind of big plays like yours has been doing for you this year?
Special teams just came up. He came up big for us, making some impact plays. Anytime special teams can affect the game, whether it's taking the ball away, blocking a kick. Like it changes the game drastically. And our guys have made some plays throughout the year, whether it's executing a fake punt, blocking kicks, getting great returns. It's all about winning that hitting yardage battle, and our special teams has done a really good job all year of that.
Coach, I got a chance to speak with some of the players after the game, and it was the same. As far as the last 2 weeks is concerned, they've been talking about how good the practices have been heading into the Tennessee game, heading into this wild card game. Was there anything different, or did you just see that, Joe even told us there's not a lot of do-overs that we have to do like we, previously or earlier in the season. What was it about these practices that was different?
With our practices the past couple of weeks, the difference for me has been how locked in our guys have been. When our guys work the right way, it shows up in the game. Right? We have practices where we're doing a lot of repeats or guys are not quite on it. Like it shows up, the inconsistencies show up in the game. So for me, I've always been a stickler for the work you put in throughout the week. It'll show up in some way, some form of fashion on game day. So I just always implore our guys our first day out. Like there's no time to waste. There's no wasted reps. We don't need to waste time when we're in practice because all those things will show up later, in the week. So it's important to me that we work the right way. And when I talk about being relentless and effort and all the physicality, all the things that I preach to our guys, I want to see it throughout the week. And when we exhibit that throughout the week, it helps us to play better on game day.
There's a lot of big names.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of the big names are going to stand out, of course, from this game with CJ, Joe, DeMeco, Will, Derek. But what about those guys who also contributed, like a Miles Bryant, like a D'Angelo Ross, like a Eric Murray? When you went back and you watched the tape, what stood out to you about that?
Going back and watching the tape versus the Chargers, I could name everybody on our team, right, who stood out, who contributed, and were a big part of us playing well in that game. First, I think up front, I challenged our defensive line to play well, and Foley, him being back, and that was the reason why we played well in the run game. I thought he impacted the game there. Azeez making a huge play on a 3rd and 2, physical play, getting them to 4th down. Azeez Henry was consistent with where he was supposed to be all day in coverage. Miles Bryant stepping in, playing nickel. He helped us with guys just with the communication, getting guys aligned, being where they have to be, and him just being able to do his job consistently. Just a lot of guys all across the board helped us to win this game. So and that's what team football is about, and that's what you need now going down the stretch. You need everybody to contribute. And I always tell our guys, like, our best players have to play their best, right? If you consider yourself our best player, then we need your best. And that's all everybody who suits up is our best player, all 48 guys who suit up. So I need everyone's best. We need everyone's best so we can go out and compete at the highest level.
DeMeco, I don't know what your relationship has been with Andy Reid over the years, but when you were coming up through the ranks before you landed this job, what have you admired most about what he's been able to accomplish specifically there at Kansas City?
What I've admired most about Andy is the consistency at which he's led his teams. He doesn't change in his approach. It's been effective. Guys love to play for Andy. I love playing for Andy. He's a great head coach, smart coach. Puts his players in positions to thrive. You see him, kind of tailor the offense to fit Patrick's abilities, and it's worked out well for him. Right, he's been very successful. Right, he has a lot of good coaches around him as well. Andy does a great job of just finding a way to win. Whatever it takes to win games, Andy's going to find a way to do that, and that's why he's been one of the most successful coaches, in our game.
Can you talk a little bit about? There's a lot of credit given to your guys up front on the edge, Will, Danielle, but you mentioned Foley. Just the work that you get from that entire front, a guy like DeMeco, the whole front 7. This is the first time you've had, I guess, that whole front starting 7. Is that what you envision this team starting the season?
Yeah, seeing all of our, all 9 guys we have on the defensive line who are up on game day, they all help in some form or fashion. But when it comes to the run game specifically, like the run game isn't stopped without our D tackles, right? And that's Foley, that's Mario, Tim Settle, Tommy stepping in, DeMeco, it's like all those guys contribute. And with them playing with great awareness, they're smart players. So that allows us to play. It's not just, firing off the ball, playing blind. Like, they play with great awareness, and they put us in position to make a lot of plays in the run game by eliminating space. So that D-line, it's about a collective effort from all those guys and them working together. I know a lot of praise goes to our edge rushers with Will and Daniil, but a lot of those things that they're able to do is set up by the guys on the inside. So the way those guys continue to work together and feed off of each other, that'll be important to our success moving forward.
Nico Collins had a big game, actually set the record passing DeAndre Hopkins. How much do you need from the other guys to complement him and do a little more than what you had against the Chargers?
Very proud of Nico for what he's been able to accomplish this all year. Everything that he's done, even when everyone knows the ball is going to him, he still makes the play. So excited for him and just his trajectory as a pro, man. He's done an outstanding job this entire year. And, when it comes to other guys around him, for us, it's just about how we need to move the football to gain yards. Whoever is tasked with getting the ball, just want guys to protect the ball, press forward. It really doesn't matter. If you get it, do your best with the football.
So much
When
of
you were
the
playing
deep.
back,
Go ahead,
TJ, obviously you were attacking the machine, but now as a defensive coordinator, you're obviously your defense tackles well, but they take the ball away a lot. What is the biggest reason, from your perspective, why you guys are able to have these games where you force multiple interceptions on some of the best quarterbacks?
We're able to force a lot of takeaways because we have a lot of good players. It's not about me. It's about the players out there making the plays, and the guys have done an outstanding job. That's it's our main thing that we go into every week is talking about attacking the football, taking the football, because we know when you take the football away, it just raises your percentages of winning the football game. So every week our goal is to win the game. So we want to win the game and we take the ball away. It's the defense helping the team win the game. So our guys done a great job of owning that. Not only, again, I talked about practice earlier, but they have to do it in practice, and we emphasize it in practice, and it shows up on game day.
That mentality on defense, that swarm mentality, it's so much the mental side of desire to play that way. Who do you see leading and holding that standard of, like, this is the way we play defense here, and, like, anything below that is just unacceptable?
Who leads the swarm charge? That would be, well, you really can't go out there if you're not about it. Like, and that's what's unique about our defense. Like, it's not one guy. If you wanna talk about one guy, you can talk about Will as the guy who leads it. You talk about Aziz as the one guy. You can talk about Stingley. I can name all those guys, because each one of our guys, when you play defense, the way I believe in playing defense, like, if you're not about the swarm mentality, then it's going to be hard for you to play defense for me, because I see it one way.
A lot of teams are banged up this time of the year. Kansas City, probably the healthiest they've been skill position-wise on offense. How challenging is what they have weapon-wise for Mahomes?
They present a unique challenge because, when you talk about their skill position, they have 5 guys who are all elite playmakers, right? Everybody they put on the field that's ineligible has a chance to create an explosive and make plays, and it's not always the explosive play down the field. It can be, worthy just on a 1-yard pass and him turning it into an explosive. So they present probably the biggest challenge we faced all year, and it takes everyone, right? That's why I talk about our defense. Like, it's going to be a collective effort from everybody. It's not just stopping one guy. It's not just stopping Kelsey. Right? Their running backs is really good. I don't think Piron gets a lot of credit, but he's a guy who's one of the smartest guys when it comes to pass pro, protecting, blocking, running routes. Like, he's another guy you have that you can't sleep on him as well. So they do a really good job of, I think Patrick does a really great job just distributing the football to whoever's open. It just reminds you of everybody, makes the analogy of the point guard in the NBA, but that's what he is. He's truly point guard. He's dishing the ball to whoever's open. And it's not only down the field, it's the short passes. That guys open, he's getting the football, and those guys are converting and creating explosives. So everybody, sideline to sideline, we have to play with great awareness, great eye discipline. We have to tackle really well.
Is there any more challenge to, like, from a defensive coordinator standpoint, where you really haven't had the visual of all these guys on the field healthy at the same time?
No challenge. We'll attack what they do, and we'll see how it turns out. All right. Thank you.